Welcome back to the channel, fool. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for videos like this. Megalodon or AI getting dangerous?
Can you see with the camera? What is it? Is it like a crab with flashing eyes or something?
Not coming in clear enough. Oh, baby, come in. Is that a drone? Yeah. That's a big old drone. That'll be 5 foot big, right? What is an animal? Looks like a mountain lion. Looks like a big old cougar or something. Got that trick around the field.
Man, this lasts a minute and a half, takes forever.
Have you noticed? Those videos popping out are just crystal clear.
Yeah, this is recording. So I just saw the alien and I've recorded it on my TV with a tripod because I recorded on that camera and I can't get it off the disc. So that's the way I had to do it. This is just now, just using a normal camera. Okay.
Can you come out of the grass? No, no, it ran away. Let me try and zoom in. Holy crap. What do you want? What the fuck?
They're so advanced, they just want to play hide and seek.
Driving home on the highway. It's crawling across the winds.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, it's falling up your back. No, it's falling on your face. It's falling on your face. Oh, I'm not touching it. No, I'm not touching it. Pull your shoulder. Oh, it jumped off.
It's alright. It's a huntsman, not a huntswoman.
This is a terrifying video filmed by a girl named Allie during her night run. The incident happened late at night when Allie was out for a jog. After warming up by a bridge, she planned to run a few laps around the park by the river. Not long into her run, a man passed by her on the left. The strange part was she hadn't seen anyone behind her before. She turned around and the man was gone. Then another person appeared, running past her on the right. Upon closer inspection, this person was dressed exactly like the one she had just seen. Could it be a glitch in reality? She turned around again, but the figure disappeared once more. Feeling uneasy, Allie continued running, but the figure reappeared, scaring her even more. She quickly ran home, hoping to escape. After barely making it into the elevator, she realized the man had followed her. turned around. She managed to make it safely inside her apartment, narrowly avoiding whatever it was that had been chasing her.
Wow.
Happy birthday, babe!
Birthday with the shark. Oh, Nikki! You should do photo. Oh,
Birthday, babe! Woo!
Oh my God, I love you. What? I can't believe that.
Was she trying to drown the shark or what? He just had enough of tourists.
The ghost of Wraith.
What is your name?
This is the story of a very powerful spirit that makes its presence known in an insane way. Our story starts in Los Angeles in 1990 at this house right here. And our man, John Huckard, just got a new Polaroid camera from his father. And as he's standing in the house, the bathroom door opens directly in front of him. So he pulls the camera up and snaps a picture. And he comes out with this weird artifact, which he just blows off to something wrong with the camera. But he hands the camera off to his friend and says, "Hey, take a picture of me in the bathroom doorway." Again, another artifact. So then they take a third picture thinking that it's just some fluke. But now the artifacts are getting stranger, and he would say it felt like something was mocking him. They are so amazed by this that they call their friends and say, "Come over right now." One of the friends was convinced that there is a spirit in the home. So they said, "Hand me the camera." And then they asked, "Is anyone here?" And they took a picture. This spirit just responded. So then the group asked, "What is your name?" Another response. Its name is Right. So the group continued to take pictures, and every picture had a verbal response. Anything is possible. Listen and you will hear. Some of the responses are very random and hard to interpret. But over time, the group took over 12,000 pictures. A mix of believers and non-believers, all completely dumbfounded.
You should have went to sleep. He's a sweet person.
How did you find your way to the rim against one of the best defenses in the league? How did you find your way to the rim against one of the best defenses in the league?
And the eye change was tough.
You turned down $60 million to join Kick. Why did you do that?
It wasn't right. Man, I couldn't join Kick at the time because it was like, I got to realize, like, not all money is good money. Some money, I think some money you could take and some deals that you could sign that would like literally jeopardize and slow down everything that you built up for. Sometimes you gotta just say no. Like, right. This is not this. It's cool. Like, it's generational, but I'm more like, what am I stamping on the world? Like, what am I gonna be known for? So like, I don't even, if it don't make sense, I'm not doing it. They, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have such a great community where I'm at right now. Why would I leave it?
Who did you rely on to help make that decision, or was that a sole decision that you made?
Nah, it was me and God. I can tell you exactly what happened. 2023, right before my subathon, I got a call from Kick. They say, "Hey, we got these millions for you to do 15 days on Twitch, then come to Kick for 15 days, and then reveal that you're on Kick." And I said, I told my team, I said, I can't do it. I didn't want to do it. He hung up. As soon as I hung up, I got down on my knees and I put my hands together and I prayed and I said, God, I just turned down a crazy amount of money that can help me for a lifetime, but I just hope you keep me on the road of staying focused and being able to achieve my dreams at a natural pace, at my own pace. And he answered. Like, I literally just locked in. And it's like when you get money, it's like you don't, it's like, how do I explain it? It's like when you get to a certain
level,
point,
how much more money do you?
Yeah, like, you know, like when you get to
What can I do with the money that I'm making that I needed this?
Yeah.
Because if I need that, I got a problem to begin with. I'm probably gonna blow through that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like, I'm like, damn, like I can't, like I'm already blessed financially. Like, why would I need to do this?
Right.
Like, why? I'd rather play the long game and a more natural, organic route.
I mean, you turn down that Steph. Steph makes 55 a year. Dak Prescott makes 60. That's professional high, top of the food chain.
But think about it though. Steph is doing what he loves.
Yes.
It's basketball. He's getting paid to play the game that he loves. I don't know if I would have loved it on kid.
Oh, okay.
You feel me? I have this theory that they're gonna be. It's a great streaming platform and stuff, and how it is. But like, bro, my home, I'm where I need to be at, and like, I'm not worried about the money. I just built my community, and I don't gotta worry about the extras I could get when I'm already blessed.
Right.
You feel me? So I just keep that mentality, and just make sure I never lose that mentality.
When you include God, He's gonna work with you.
I've been waiting for months to find this particular video without writing across the screen obscuring the important part of the footage. So thankfully I found a good copy. So this is a crematorium in Ecuador, and this gentleman was being filmed in the process of cremating a body. An unexplainable phenomenon has been happening in the crematorium. Phenomenon such as machinery being sabotaged, objects moving, his clothes being pulled and figures being seen. This was captured on camera. Observe.
And you never want to deep dive around those places. At this point, we might need Batman.
We create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors. We're the producers. We're the main actors. The world is our stage.
This is Mossad's old office. Its motto from Proverbs 24:6 says in so many words, wage war through deception and trickery.
And I'll let you be the judge.
This is an engine. I'm assuming it came out of a craft, a big one, by the size, proportional differences, probably 300 feet plus, you know, the length of a football field. Well, therefore, it's got occupants. What in God's name have you done with them? Well, that was the wrong thing to say, because they are up on the engine coming after me, and it's time to leave. Well, when I bend down to get off the engine, I put my hands back on the engine. Something interesting. Instead of the nice, smooth wave lines, they would now look like small tornadoes coming off all my fingertips, moving through the metal. And I pulled my hands back, put them back on. There they were, but they were starting to calm down a little bit. And then I realized what this thing was. They grabbed hold of me, the Air Force guys did. We got back in the golf cart and we were riding back up to the surface. And I was sitting there thinking, I just realized what this engine is. It's a symbiotic engine. The engine is alive. It is an engine that's capable. The reason they couldn't figure out the firing order is that the tubing that was cascading all over its body looked like the same pattern you would have from a brainstem of a neurosynaptic ordering firing order. So what's happening is when the pilots sit down in their seats, their thought waves drive the engine. When I first touched the engine, I was curious and awed by it. The wavelengths were smooth off my fingers. When I was getting down from it, I was totally angry. The engine was not picking up radiation heat waves, it was picking up mental fault energy. That engine is capable of a symbiotic relationship with the pilots. That's why they couldn't figure out the firing order. They said there was no wiring or circuitry. No, the pilots' brains are the wiring and the circuitry. The engine needs them in order to do all of its functions. In return, the pilots know exactly what the engine feels and how the spacecraft feels. The entire craft is probably symbiotic. Now, before you sit there and blow this off like it's just a bunch of science fiction, let me bring you up to date here to current events. I just left Princeton University. There's a Dr. John up there, Robert John, and he runs the Para Research Institute. They have a contract from McDonnell Douglas, ever heard of them? Small aerospace company, to build mental shielding for firing systems on the new F-22 fighters. A fighter that is so sensitive, when he straps on his helmet, just like the Apache helicopter, you turn your head this way, the gun mounts follow your head. This firing system now links to your brain. Foxfire, Clint Eastwood. Where do you think the Hollywood's getting their ideas? McDonnell Douglas is under construction building a symbiotic relationship firing control system. Where did they get their idea? I wonder. Could have been back in June 1971, and God knows how long they've had this engine. However, it's reality. We have symbiotic engines in aeronautics. We're moving into that area right now with the F-22 and beyond.
Amazing, right?
A flat Earth, but
Look. We can solve that right now.
Okay.
If you take a telescope and look into the sky, every planet and star you see is round.
Yeah, for sure.
If the Earth was flat, when you see a rainbow, it would just go straight across.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be in an arc.
It wouldn't be a spear.
Nobody ever wrote it out like that. Yeah. And if you study longitudinal lines eventually curve off, but they don't stay straight.
Yeah.
When we get done with this, I'll show you footage of things that look like the biblical description of angels.
Yeah.
The truth is stranger than fiction. Once the government came out and said that they have off-world craft, you can look this up.
Mm-hmm.
They said that UFOs do exist. Off-world craft, we have them in our possession. What does that mean? We went from the Model T Ford to Bugattis in less than 100 years. We got fiber optics from these vehicles. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff that we have is from this. And if you watch Joe Rogan's interview with a CIA guy, he said that our technology has held back 100 years based off what they already have in inventory and what's allowed to be released to the public.
Have you? Okay, speaking of Joe Rogan, did you see where they said they now have the technology to where you can dream and communicate through the dream?
Yes. In the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, a creature is shown, an event is shown. Now, there's a man by the name of Dr. Stephen Greer. Dr. Stephen Greer has debriefed government officials about his experiences with non-human intelligences. When certain people he debriefed saw the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, they all looked around and said, somebody knows what's going on here. University scientists that have confirmed that these bodies that they found in Peru match the same description for the creature in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. They verified that these were living beings on the planet. They have part reptilian DNA, part human DNA, and part other DNA that's not in the biological tree. This has been fact. It is proven facts. They have evidence that there are multiple factions of non-human intelligences, and they all don't get along with each other. Declassified footage called the Mosul Orb from satellite and drone footage from in war zones. They see these silver spheres on camera. These spheres go into outer space and change the trajectory of asteroids.
Oh, wow.
There is a global defense system powered by some form of AI that is preserving the planet. I had an experience as a kid where I seen something flying in the sky, and you know, if you study aviation, you know, the Wright brothers, you know, they took a certain path to get their plane to fly. And then if you study aerospace, I was a physics major at first when I went to college. So if you study aerospace, you know, in order to get a rocket to go into the air, you need thousands of pounds of jet fuel and a very powerful motor, right? Engine. I seen something that was flying without any of that. That intrigued me. So I went to go research. And I went to go research expecting to find that there was some sort of technology that somebody was operating, but it wasn't like that, you feel me? It was non-human.
He made a solid point. And the audience is so chill they thought it was part of the show. AI or not, I'm not stepping outside.
Dude, I have the email. I am shaking, man. This is nuts.
And it goes from there. And I sat there for probably an hour talking to my wife. I'm shaking. I can't even think straight. Like, normal day is shot, and I didn't know what I want to do. Do I sit on this? Do I do nothing with it? I've got to tell somebody. I've got to tell the FBI at least, because this is huge. This is all over the news. And then I was like, well, dude, this guy wanted to get in contact with Sean Ryan, so let me get this to Sean Ryan, see if I can get with him. And I had a buddy who knew your producer, and we went from there. But
wow. Do you want to read the email?
Yep. So this email came in on December 31st at 10:42 a.m. That is Tuesday. He said, in case I do not make it to my decision point or onto the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until 1 January and keep my identity private until then. First off, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification. What we have been seeing with drones, he puts that in quotes, he says drones, is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China and the East Coast, but throughout history, the US. Only we in China have this capability. Our OPSEN, that's Operations Center, our OPSEN location for this activity is in the box below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they used the balloon for SIGINT and ISR, which are also part of the integrated comm system. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. The so what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned aircraft. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. It's checkmate. U.S. government needs to give the history of this, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, how China is employing them, and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I am armed and I have a massive V-bid. Let me pause right there for a second. So he says a massive V-bid. When I was talking to the FBI yesterday, they didn't know what a V-bid was. I had to explain what that acronym meant, literally.
You fucking serious?
Dead serious. I said it twice, and he goes, you said that word V-bid. Can you tell me what that is? For your audience, a V-bid, for your audience who has not been in the GWAT for the last 20 years, a V-bid is a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. In layman's terms, a car bomb, what we saw at Trump Tower. So, backing up, he says, I am armed and have a massive V-bid. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and have kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. Here's where he gets into the other stuff, and this is where we had to redact the names. Well, your producer redacted the names. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that were covered up during airstrikes in Nimruz province, Afghanistan in 2019 by the admin, DOD, DEA, and CIA. I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of civcas, that's civilian casualties, that killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. U.S. FORA continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all aircraft and CENTCOM. The UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. I was part of that cover-up with U.S. FORA and agent redacted of the DEA, so I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. I worked with redacted IO staff on this as well as the response to Bala Murghab. Redacted commander at the time, redacted can validate this. You need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war because this is a mutually assured destruction situation. Then he says, for vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg or Matthew Livelsberger, an active duty 18 Zulu out of 110, that's 1st Battalion 10th Special Forces Group. My profile is public. I have an active TSSCI with UAP, USAP access.
What is USAP? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is. But I checked his credentials on LinkedIn. So that was the first thing I did. I went to his LinkedIn page. First thing I noticed was all of his bona fides were in place. He has all the UAS training from USASOC and everything else. And so I said, okay, at least the guy knows what he's talking about with drones. That was a very rough dig into the guy. But my issue was I couldn't validate or verify any of this information. And I told him that. And how I responded to him was in a subsequent email. I said, this is obviously a very big deal, but I don't have anything to verify this information with. Talking about gravitic propulsion systems without evidence just makes me another UFO talking head. Like, I'm not going to go on my social media page and start talking about UFOs and anti-gravity systems and everything. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't. And he said, can I get on Fox News Contact on Signal as well as Sean's show? Hegseth would be good too. That was his last message to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, what is a gravitic propulsion system?
To be honest with you, it is a fancy term you're going to find in science fiction. You won't find it in any, as far as I know, you won't find this in any kind of official manual or, scientific research. This is all science fiction. So, but what struck me is his use, what strikes me now, not then, but what strikes me now is his use of a very specific term that nobody else would call it. If you asked me, I would say an anti-gravity propulsion system. That's how I would describe it because I don't know this stuff. He said gravitic propulsion.
The internet is moving faster than the media can set a narrative.
Did you see what happened with Kai and Drewski? So in the prayer, like the Thanksgiving segment, right? I think one of Drewski's friends, Kai was like, okay, can you say a prayer? So the guy starts saying a prayer, and then Kevin Hart starts like trolling. He's like, oh, he's just laughing and stuff like that. He's making jokes. So he's like, okay, Kevin, why don't you say a prayer? Same thing. He's like, he's trolling too much to the point where it's like nobody's laughing.
It's like disrespect.
So Kai takes over. He's like, okay, no, you're not taking it serious. Let me say a prayer.
Yeah.
Craziest thing ever. He starts the prayer and he goes,
yeah, I know.
and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. In the middle of the prayer. And before that, even before Kai started his prayer, he started trolling so he wouldn't start it.
I hate when people disrespect God like that. That's just so cringe.
Was the demon inside and comfortable?
So when this guy and this guy, both with military experience, both assigned to Fort Bragg, seems to be activated, we have to ask ourselves, is MK Ultra still in effect? Well, here's a video way back in the 1980s of them trying to let us know how deep the rabbit hole went.
Started out basically with the CIA doing experimentations on their own men to discover if they could get rid of agents who were going to quit the department and still had classified information. So they utilized different types of drugs and pain and hypnosis and electric shock to try and get the guys to forget. Then they also did experimentations to using different chemicals to see if you can induce a person to commit a crime or induce him to do that or to do this. Of course, the CIA claimed that it didn't carry it through. The documentation we got was actually that they did that. Then we came across the overall project called MK Ultra. Its earlier code name was Artichoke, and that included 149 sub-projects. And those sub-projects range from what I just described to open-air testing in the United States, experimentation on prisoners, experimentation on soldiers, experimentation on college students.
Would these people know they were being experimented on and gave their approval?
No.
MK Ultra is real, guys.
Why are they doing that? If they're going to work and they're working on it, why are they telling you it's not real? Well, I'm going to show you. It's very simple. I went ahead because I was so angry, and when I get mad, I do research, and then I force myself to take a breath, go outside with the bow staff if I'm really pissed off, and come back to Zen. Self-control. Make a list. And I'm like, okay, wait. So if I go to work for Command and Control C4ISR, Cybernet and Nibbernet back into the NSA, DNA steganography with the NSA, and we watch every synaptic exchange at 5,100 bits and log it with the NSA PRISM program. That's what Assange, Snowden, and all of them were talking about. That's why they killed Barnaby Jack, the ATM jackpotter. He was there at DEF CON to present that it was easier to hack a human body with a pacemaker or otherwise. You didn't need to have a pacemaker than it was a car. Dead. So with that in mind, I'm like, why can't we talk about this? So I went and found where you can talk about it, because even in the machine learning, you're not allowed to write the word biofield, which I found very weird, okay, because nobody reads that stuff. So then I found out that it is the following. Electronic, medical, police, warfare divisions, military, your Lockheed, Raytheon, all of them. Advanced signals technology. It's everywhere as a job. In information, surveillance, and reconnaissance, the Internet of Behaviors, Bodies, Things, the Industrial Internet of Things, the Medical Body Area Network, all way back, 2005, 2015. It's all there. And I'm like, these are jobs? Oh, yeah. And then neuromodulation, neural stimulation, Project Salus, watching everybody think in real time with CT2WS, cognitive warfare technology, EEG headset, ultrasound, modified ultrasound, all walking around on a headset. Then the Renius chipset embedded in their left hemisphere. And I'm like, where did all of this come from? Synthetic telepathy, been out there since 1995. So they needed a backbone. Just like back in the day when everybody was logging into email for the first time on dial-up. It would get crowded, people would have to wait forever and get kicked off. I fucking worked it, I would know. So my job was to upgrade them, to bring them out of dial-up and onto cable modems, for which I used a system called NMAPs on comm controllers with something called COM21 cable modems, which were different than the throwaway DOCSIS stuff in the big cities. Different markets, so different hardware, everything, different software. So I went ahead as I continued to make my little T-bar list, and I'm like, so let me get this straight. If I'm in radio frequency, if I'm in IT, I log into the body, make changes, and organize. If I'm anyone else in the world, I'm a fucking nut job. Give me drugs and make me sit still. And the only place you can really learn about the biofield is in the Bible, because Jesus used it to heal. And I mean, it's ions and electrons. It's your exchange with your environment. That's why everybody works with radar. We're told, get your nuts away from it because it'll overheat you and such. It's microwave. And then they also could feel the radar coming and going without looking at the screen. Yes, because you have an electrical body part involved. So then, as if all that wasn't enough, because I couldn't figure out how is it so obvious to me but not everyone else, because I admit the body part. Now, enter in where I come from. I come from Black projects. So I go back to my grandmother, who was a Rosicrucian in Chicago, has a bunch of depression glass. These are nanogels, or excuse me, nanolipids. And they would have them stand on a metal plate or whatever. Yeah. And that's your specialized concrete for human teleportation, like you heard out of the mouths of Sean Ryan and other people who he interviewed, the Marines and such, that found the photonic different mixtures of concrete.
New rabbit hole unlocked. Is that a boomerang or Project Bluebeam?
Bro. This in real life.
That deserves some money.
We're at the airport, posted up, midnight red-eye flight. Sarah Beans, no Matty B.
Trying not to be weird.
Not to be weird.
Not allowed to be weird or embarrass him. I can't do that.
We're on our way.
Power traveler.
Puerto Rico.
Power traveler.
Costa Rica, it's the same thing, same place, same people, same food, same island.
No, it's not the same as Costa Rica. It's actually very different, I believe. It's a different place.
This whole conversation was so strange. Is that really Grapple or something else?
A postal worker was stabbed to death inside a Harlem deli.
We're told that an argument went off the rails that was all about who ordered a sandwich first. Jaya Cruz was walked out of the 28th precinct just hours after this deadly incident on Lenox Avenue around 2:30 yesterday. Ray Hodge, a Bronx man, was stabbed multiple times inside of this deli from his torso, arms, back, and neck. Police did recover a knife here on the scene. The 36-year-old's final breaths will be taken on the jobs as doctors at a local hospital couldn't save his life. Jaya Cruz has now been charged with murder
over sandwich guys. Crazy world we're living in. And that's the future, guys. You can't make this up.
So the fake maps are really to throw you off. Hello out there. As you can see on these maps here, they all claim to have some type of ice wall around the whole world, which I'm sure that's probably possible. But before you get to that ice wall, what about this area right here? This is the area that they don't want you to see. Now, a lot of people have been messaging me about flat earth maps, but they don't have this area right here on their maps. What is this area right here? I'm going to tell you what this is. This is in the north. But they don't want you to know that. They want you to believe that this is just some area that maybe is probably fake to you, but it's real to us. But this is a real area where there are actually people living out here. And people are messaging me about using the flat earth map, but their map don't have this area on there. So what do we do about that? This is what they don't want you to see. So come on, people, if they wanted you to see this, this would be on the maps. You would be able to go on Google and look this up, but you cannot. According to them, the map ends at the bottom of Africa. And then you'll see a little bit of sheet of ice, which is supposed to be the South Pole or whatever. But really, that's the north. And this area right here is the extreme north that the Book of Jubilees was talking about. This is the land of Japheth. They don't want you to know about this. They don't mind you knowing about all those other areas, but not this area right here. This area is off limits. So when you look at these maps here, you don't see that area on these maps. And this area is not far from South America and Africa. So why don't you see this area on any of these maps? They don't want you to know that this is the north. That area is the north. So even on this map right here, when everyone saw this map, they were very excited because we are able to see lands now that we have never been able to see before. But there's only one problem. Where is that area even on this map? And this is supposed to be the world beyond the ice wall.
And the question now, who's living in those places?
Now, everything about Dennis and his equipment has to function perfectly. There is no margin for error. It is life or death. Now, Dennis Frazzoli and the Tower of Death. This stunt is so hazardous, the Guinness Book of World Records has refused to recognize Dennis. They say the ride is too dangerous, since no safety equipment is used. Dennis will now guide the unicycle through a slalom course of 8 markers. 1, 2...
And who's missing the 80s? Never turn your back. Got it.
Sure, we go that way? No, we can't. We have to go this way. Bro. You find spirit wrong. I don't go that way. No, we can't. Let's go this way. I don't want you. Hey, bro, I don't want you. Bro, I don't have a light. Wait, let's scare the hell out of him.
Those sirens.
And I don't want to find out. Do you?
The theory goes that parasites are actually demons.
Parasite. Kinda, yeah.
Check this.
They go into your body and fuck everything up.
Parasites are what the demons are. In the Bible, what does it say to release demons? What must you do?
What?
You must pray and what? And fast. Why fast?
Oh, so there's nothing else coming in your body.
Yeah. So the parasites can't thrive.
Multiply.
Bro.
Yeah, they don't
Parasites
multiply.
can't thrive. Now, what do parasites do that demons are likely to do too? Parasites, they change your mood. They change your behavior. They make you crave bad food. They make you do bad behavior. And they get you stuck in almost like a frequency that makes you worse and worse and worse. Parasites. What do demons do? The same thing. They change your mentality, they change your mood. They almost change your whole character.
Yeah.
What's the only way to take them out? Like they said in the Bible, pray
yeah.
and fast. Fast, fam. I never really understood fasting until now because that's literally your body.
Yep.
That's everything that's inside of it. So you can imagine if the bad stuff for us, the tempting stuff is the sweets, the sugars. That stuff is tempting, bro. Like
you're gonna fast so it never comes in your body.
And those stuff, like if the parasite keeps thriving on it, that's why we're so addicted to that stuff. Because the parasite is making us want it more. That's how they survive. They literally survive off sugars.
Yeah.
Damn. If you look at microscopic images of a parasite, they look like monsters.
Low-key.
They look like plenty of teeth type shit.
Dude,
that's what demons look like. So what if when you have nightmares of demons, that's actually a parasite just expanded? Yeah.
There's truth to that.
One astronaut kicked me. One astronaut threatens to punch me. One astronaut threatens to shoot me. And we even left a hot microphone accidentally in an astronaut's house after he assaulted me. And the camera guy, so, disoriented, he forgets to hit stop recording. So while the astronaut and his son are in their house with the door closed, we're recording the audio by wireless microphone in the back seat of the rental car in the driveway. And they say, word for word, do you want to call the CIA and have them whacked?
You want to call the CIA? Have them whacked?
So like
oh
I
my
said,
goodness!
Yeah,
That
so like
is crazy!
Well, like I said, if I'm some silly person who thinks the moon landings are fake and they really went, why would the CIA be involved? But I have proof that they didn't go. Classified footage and an eyewitness. That's why the CIA is involved. And I go into my book, me being literally kidnapped at the back door of CNN trying to get somebody the tape by the government, drugging me with truth serum, vomiting, telling them everything they wanted to know, escaping, peeing in a cup, taking it to a lab, and the lab was broken into and my urine sample was stolen. All that is in the book.
So you're saying that there was more between the CIA and you, aside from them saying, should I have that guy whacked after Buzz Aldrin punched you in the face?
Yeah, a lot more.
They wouldn't swear on the Bible, but why? And that's a wrap on this episode, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash that subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.